How y'all living, man? Let me drop this. Yo, what's up, mammy? Yo, I appreciate you, Bubba. I do. I'm gonna start getting better too. Now that you're watching, I'm gonna get even better. You just brought my whole vibe up now, man. I was like tired, like, man, it's gonna be tough. Now I'm like, yo, let's get it. Hey. Oh man, I'm gonna talk about meditation today a little bit. Y'all asked for it again, so it's coming back. Yes, I'm rocking the uniform. This is the daily uniform right here. And so yeah, I put out a poll the other day and I was like, yo, we want to hear that meditation talk again. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my meditation practice, or actually recently lack thereof meditation practice, but I'm gonna tell you how it works for me, how it does not work for me, and then also a little bit about how like practice in general is like a thing. Like your meditation is a practice, but most everything you do in life, I think, is practice. You know, I always ask myself, like, when I'm doing something, like, what am I teaching myself? You know, all the time it's like, people always worried about, like, outcomes, you know what I mean? They'll be like, yo, what's up, Jimmy? Jimmy Chills, my guy, what's up? Yo, good seeing you, man. Good seeing you last night. Good vibes on that guy. And so, I'm always asking myself, what am I teaching myself? Because people, okay, let's talk about this. You steal a candy bar from the store. It's easy to steal a candy bar from the store. And like chances of somebody catching you is like slim to none, man. You could go up in Walmart, you can grab that fucking thing, you just throw it in your pocket, you walk out, right? No big deal. But you gotta ask yourself now, what am I teaching myself? Because even though the cameras might not see you or nobody else sees you, this is how I believe karma works, right? Is I think your own subconscious mind is recording and watching every single thing you do. Every single experience you have, every memory, your subconscious is just recording all that, right? And it stores it. That's your job. That's your mind's job. And even though you can't consciously access all that information, like you can't remember exactly, you know, when this happened or where that happened or every single moment, it doesn't mean that your subconscious is not still storing those things. And so, either way, I totally got on a lot. Oh, I hate when I do that. And it's been so long since I got stuck in my own rants, man. But he said I gotta pay back Ralph. So funny that you mentioned that, Brian. Hey, how you doing? He talking about that chicken. That's so funny. I was like, as I was talking about that story, I was like, man, he probably gonna think I'm talking about him or us, because I was there too. I was there. I could have paid for that chicken too, and I didn't. But that's okay. We talked about that, right? You know, it's a learning experience, you know, and sometimes you're bound to fail, right? If you're always testing yourself, you're bound to fail. But you guys think, what am I teaching myself? And so my point being is your subconscious mind is always recording, right? And it's always remembering your habits, your actions, like the way you feel. It's always remembering those things, and it creates like a rhythm, right? And we're going to talk about the universal laws again real soon. I hope you guys all come in for that, man. I'm going to do another universal law breakdown. Last time I did it over like a week. Actually, I'll probably do it over a week again because, I mean, shit, we're going live every day. So, you know what I mean? I might as well stretch that shit out. We're going to be here for a while. We're going to be here for a while. And I love that. And so, not today, though. We're not going to be here for a while today. I got a low battery on the YouTube, so that's not going to be lasting long. But in general, in life, we're going to be here for a long time. Okay, so what's that got to do with practice? Or what's that got to do with meditation, right? Is the fact that your subconscious mind is always recording stuff, right? Well, same goes like with life. That's what I feel about with life. You know, it's like you can practice life. People look at me all the time and they be like, man, you wake up 5:30 every day, which I have not been doing recently, but you know, nonetheless. When I'm in flow and when I'm doing my thing, like when I'm not, right now I'm running 135% probably. So some of my standards are slipping in like, you know, my habits and like things that I like normally have tip top. Been missing the gym, meditation. Mostly my morning routine is suffering right now. So, but I'm always practicing though. Like I didn't just wake up like that one day. Or like I said, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday and they were like, man, 5:30, how do you do that? And I'm like, what do you mean? How do you wake up at 10? It's the same. Like how do you wake, you know, how does anybody wake up, right? I've just trained myself over time to wake up at that time because I wanted that extra couple hours. You know, that way I could be more successful than everybody else. You know, everybody else want to be sleeping till 10. I already got a 5-hour jump start on you. You know what I mean? By the time a lot of people see my first stories, I already been done like half my day, right? And so I just train myself over time, right? But practice, baby, exactly. Yo, same. I wake up at 3 a.m. every day for work. I'm telling you, the best time in my life is 5 o'clock in the morning, because nobody's looking for you. Nobody wants you. Your boss is not calling you. Well, some people, but for the most part, at 5 o'clock in the morning, your kids aren't up. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's looking for you. And so that's just the best time to invest in yourself. You don't have to worry about no distractions. And so, either way, that's why I like to get up early. But I didn't just wake up overnight like that, dude. I used to be a snooze army dude, man. Like, I fucking had to set the 10 alarms. I know the life, you know? But over time, I practiced. And I really tried to force myself out of that habit of hitting that snooze, you know? Because in the end, I just taught myself how to do that. You know, it's not like you have to do that. People like swear up and down. They're like, no, you've trained yourself over time to ignore the first one and the second one and the third one. Because why? Well, because you can always snooze again, right? And so you knowing that, you've taught your brain that. And so your subconscious knows. Even though you want to get up, you set the alarm, you're like 6:30, I'm going to get up. You want to get up, but your subconscious knows. It's already been taught. So when it hears the alarm go off, which it does, right? You're going to tell me your brain don't hear the alarm go off, right? Of course it hears it, but then it tells you, it's like, oh, but you can snooze though. And you're like, oh yeah, you right. You know what I mean? And so it's just a training thing. And so the same goes with meditation, guys. That's what I want to talk about, particularly with meditation. A lot of people try meditation and then they don't see any results or benefits, and then so they quit. They're like, this is stupid. You know, I see so many people that like they hear me talking about it, or they've seen, and they hopefully Googled it by now and seen like there's mad science behind the benefits of this simple practice of just sitting alone for 10 minutes. Can do so much to reduce stress and make you feel healthy or make you feel more vibrant, energetic, you know, like centered, all that stuff, right? It just do amazing things for your mental health. But you've never done it though. You know, it is extremely awkward practice to do at first, you know? Like, it's just like anything. Like, the first time you shot a basketball, it just wasn't like, you weren't just like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It takes a second. And so, you can't just sit down the first time, try. This is what you're gonna look like. You're like, damn, am I doing it? I already fucked it up. All right. You know, like, and you're gonna sit there, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Of course you don't know what you're doing. You've never done it. You know what I'm saying? You've never done it. And so this is the barrier to entry for a lot of people with the meditation in particular is maybe people are willing to try it, but people are not willing to like, you know what, I'm going to commit 30 days to it. Or I'm for the next 6 months, I'm going to give meditation a try. And then that way, once I've developed a habit and a practice of it, and I've really gotten a good understanding of how it works, then I could say, all right, this ain't for me. You know, because it's really hard to just try it one time. It's not gonna do. It's like going to the gym one time. You know, like I said, I can push you. I can make you do 100 push-ups. Still not gonna do anything for you. And meditation is a lot like that, guys. Like, you can meditate for 10 hours tomorrow, and it's not just gonna like you're gonna wake up and be like levitating and like floating in the sky and astral projecting yourself across. You know what I mean? It's something that has to be developed over time. It's like a skill that you learn and that you practice with, right? And that's why they call it a meditation practice. Everybody practices differently. You know, everybody does it their own way and has a way of, like, you first have to identify what feelings you're looking to get. And then once you learn what those feelings are that you're trying to create inside yourself, you start to figure out the easiest and fastest and quickest way to make yourself feel that way. And then once you're grounded in that and you learn how to do that in that quiet, controlled setting, you get to take that out into the real world where there's chaos and stress and anxiety and whatever all out there, but you've already taught yourself how to create that feeling inside you, and so you just keep that with you, right? But again, just like with anything, guys, this is, like I said, with life. Life is a game of practice. So many of us, we love to dip our toes, you know? Like, we'll dip our toes. I hear a lot of people say, oh man, I tried that cold shower thing, I couldn't fucking do it. You know, and I'm like, well, you know, what'd you do? And they're like, yeah, I turned it on cold and I fucking touched it. And I was like, fuck that. You know, and it's like, yeah, well, of course, you've never done it. It's going to be extremely uncomfortable, but you have to commit to it, right? knowing that, hey, I'm in this to learn. I'm in this to grow.
What you practice grows stronger. What you practice grows stronger. We know this now with neuroplasticity. Our repeated experiences shape our brain. We can actually sculpt and strengthen our synaptic connections based on repeated practice. For example, in the famous study of London taxi drivers, the visual spatial mapping part of the brain is bigger, stronger. They've been practicing navigating the 25,000 streets of London all day long. When you look at the brains of meditators, the areas related to attention, learning, compassion grow bigger and stronger. It's called cortical thickening, the growth of new neurons in response to repeated practice. What we practice grows stronger.
Like I want to practice this, learn this, and once I've gotten a good establishment, because not everything's for you, but you can't always just scratch the surface of something and decide whether or not it's for you or not, right? I've noticed that just the trend of human society as we go on to a faster and faster paced lifestyle, which is neither bad or good to me, but the fact of the matter is that we're very swipe now. We're losing that sense of dedication and commitment to something, which is going to be tough because in the grand scheme of things, the truth of the matter is, the universe takes time to create things in your life, right? Manifestations take time. They take a certain level of being able to what we call definite as purpose, is staying dedicated to one idea of something that you want to manifest in the world, right? You can't just hey, this is what I want, and then be like, all right, the universe will be like, all right, cool, here we go. This is what you want. He ready. And then we start getting, and you just, nope, never mind, fuck that. I want that. So you have to learn to dedicate. But what I've learned over time, and this is just kind of a pro tip with all this stuff, is your subconscious mind is always recording, right? And so we talked about that, right? Your subconscious mind is always taking notes too, on all these things, on all your little practices, right? Even the fact that you're trying new things, because y'all are working together. Your subconscious conscious mind is not like a either one's in control, right? You're working together. It's your own, all connected to one big brain, right? Or comes out of one big brain. So you're working together. It remembers everything you've done, right? So that's what I'm saying. It remembers everything you've done. It's paying attention when you're trying new things. So when you're going in, you're like, all right, this shit's cold as fuck. Subconscious is immediately going to be like, okay, we're back. Subconscious is immediately going to be like, fuck that. I don't want nothing to do with that. And you're going to be like, nope, sorry, buddy, we've committed, so we're going in. And then you'll fight. And I'm just using a cold shower as an analogy because it's just a good one, but this could go with a lot of different things. Meditation practice is uncomfortable. Workout, breaking old habits. All those things are it takes practice. You don't just wake up and stop doing something you've been doing compulsively for 10 years, 15 years, right? You got to practice that. You got to instill the new habits. And so, over time, you and your subconscious work together. It records when you meditate and you stay consistent with that. It remembers that. It remembers that idea of you build a new belief in yourself of I'm a consistent person. I was able to stay consistent and driven on this one practice. That's going to lead to other things. So when you commit to something else, you'll be able to lean back on your success and be like, yeah, I committed to that healthy eating, right? And then that for 30 days I was able to do that. And that'll lead to you wanting to work out. Right? Because now you have this new level of discipline that was built in this area. But your subconscious remembers that, and now it's sitting back dang, we was pretty dedicated there. You know what? I think we're ready to take on this snooze button thing. This alarm clock shit, this shit gotta stop. I'm ready to go for this. And so you still going, but the success that you built over here bleeds over, right? And so you can always be teaching yourself in everything that you do how to be the best you can be in all situations, right? But it takes us to commit on a different level, right? We have to really look at the things and ideas that we come up with in our life are business ideas. Ideas that we have for this amazing idea that could, a movie you want to make or whatever, you're going to do something. And it's going to take so many steps for you to get there, especially if you know nothing about it. You've never made music before, but you just think, man, that'd be such a good idea. It's going to take a different level of commitment to get to a final product of a song. But you can, You can totally do that, right? But it's gonna take that level of determination. You can't just say, oh, I wanna try it. And then when you pick it up and it's hard, because it will be hard, right? It will be difficult and uncomfortable to work with something that you've never worked with before, or do something that you've never done before. But it doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't mean that you won't get better, right? And so you'll have to commit to that. You have to say, I understand that right now I'm a suck. You know, that same thing I had to do with my show. I had to commit to this idea of saying, I'm gonna be Rodtheplanter, and I'm just gonna practice. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna allow myself to fail. I'm gonna give, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give my permission. I'm gonna put my ego aside and say, I don't have to prove nothing to you guys. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just come out here and I'm gonna practice. And so every day I did. I said, I'm live. You know what I mean? Sometimes they suck, sometimes they're amazing. And I study and I'm like, you know, go back and pay attention. Oh, you did that really well. And you really fucked up there. And if you notice, I feel like they've really been getting a lot better, right? They've been getting so much better. We got like so many different new like ideas going on. I've learned how to like narrow it down to just one simple topic so that way I don't like go off on a million tangents. And only my real OG grind gang know what I'm talking about because they've been watching me for a long time, right? And you've seen me for months and months and months and you know how it's changed. Shit, there was a time where I could never go live every single day, right? I was struggling just to keep up with once a week's, schedule. But the more I committed, the more I stayed with it, the better you get, the more in the flow with the rhythm you get. Now it's like, dude, you can turn on a camera right now and I'll live the fuck. I can live any situation immediately. It's like, I'm ready. I'm like so ready. I have so many ideas, topics, all that, discussions I want to have. It's all built up, right? And all that, it's just like, it comes out like a pro basketball player, And you'll be like that too. But just take that stance from now on, Don't take always the result driven route of like, it's not our fault. It's just that's what's been driven into us. It's like you got to get the grade. You got to win right now. Like but you don't really have to. You could just take the idea of like I'm gonna suck at this for a while, so until I figure it out. If you like doing it, then just keep doing it. And so same thing. Meditation, the gym. I told you the habits. This is just simple habit building, right? Simple habit building is. There's an uncomfortable period where you're trying to make a change and a shift, but the more you become accustomed to that, the more your subconscious like records that and notes that as like this is normal for us, and it really starts to believe that, then the more it does become normal for you, and then that's just kind of who you are and what you do. You know what I'm saying? More focus for sure, always getting better. I feels that, man. Oh yeah, sorry, the live did cut out on a minute though. Hey, how you doing out of here? I like to catch up with a lot. No, you gotta go all the way in. You gotta go all the way in. That's it. I just tell people all the time, jump, 2 feet first and everything. And honestly, I think that truthfully, like, think about this. Think about this, right? Do kids, babies, do they ever half-ass anything? You ever see them do that? You ever see them like tiptoe their way to something? I never see them do that. They like a baby, if they like see something they want to cross the room, they're just gonna run. They're gonna run. And they don't like worry about like the risk or like if I'm gonna hit my head on the corner of this table or like anything. Dude, a baby will walk right up to like the biggest pit bull and just bump it on the head. Just walk right up and be like, bah! Why? Because I wanted to. Right? And never thinks twice. But as we get older, we start to worry about like, oh well, like I said, the fear creeps in, the fear of failure. What if it doesn't work? What if I waste my time? What if what if people think I laugh at me? What if people think I'm stupid or dumb? Or what if? And so then that's why we don't want to jump all the way in. And then even if we do overcome a lot of those fears, we only get enough to like tiptoe our way in. Okay, I'm back again, sorry. 24/7 job, baby. It's 24/7 job. All right. So, what's this name? Oh yeah. So so when we do overcome the fear, finally, like we shut all those voices out for a little bit, but then we want to be safe, right? It's always about security. It's always about security. A lot of people are security and certainty driven people, so we're like no risk. Like fucking risk is like, oh shit, this is risky as fuck. Like what you mean? I got to put my whole life savings into this shit? I don't want to do that. If I can come to you and be like, hey, I got an amazing business opportunity. We're going to make $10 million in the next 20 years. All you got to do is invest $15,000 right now. And you just got to wait 20 more years and you're going to be a millionaire. a lot of y'all be like, $15,000. Oh, man. I don't know. It took me a long time to get $15,000. It was 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And then people wonder why they can't get rich, because this is our mentality. We're afraid to go. $15,000 not a lot of money, guys. You know, 15 grand is not a lot of money. Not a lot of money at all. People spend $15,000 all the time. This year alone, most of y'all will make $35,000 a year, and that's low side. So you make $15,000 at least 3 times this year. You know, so investing $15,000 is not as risky as people would seem. Even if you lose it all, so what? Make it again. You made it twice, 3 times this year. That means you, as far as I'm concerned, you have to live off of one of them. So that means you get to take two shots a year. 2 shots a year at investing your money into something that, you know, may or may not work. But if it did, you'd be a fucking millionaire, right? But we don't because we're like, oh, well, can I invest 500? Sure, you can invest 500. Guess what you get back in 20 years from 500? About 100,000. You know, you gotta go big. You know, go big or go home. That's what they say. You're only. We'll talk about this later. But it's like the law of reciprocation, law of cause and effect, all that. You're only gonna get in return what you give. You know, it's like the law of causality. You give a little, you get a little. You give a lot, you get a lot. And it's just like that. So, and it's not about just money, about like giving a lot of money, like, oh, if I pay more for something, I get more. It's about investing. Just like if you invest more time into something, you get better at it, right? You're going to get better results out of that. If you invest more energy into something, you're going to get more results out of it. But the more you give to a certain situation, or the more you give to one of these practices, the more time and all that stuff that you invest in those, the better. And so, same thing we're talking about. You got to overcome the fear, though. You gotta just jump 2 feet in. You gotta be like, yep, I'm going all the way in big on this. This seems like a good idea. I'm gonna go home run. You know, I'm gonna quit my job. You gotta quit your job, quit your job. Why? Because there's millions of jobs. Millions of jobs. I've never not once seen, like, people try and tell me all the time, but everywhere I go, I see a help wanted sign. Every single where I go, I see a help wanted sign. So there might not be a lot of good jobs, but they're jobs. You always get a job. I've always been able to get a job. There's never been a day in my life where I couldn't just go get a job. And, you know what I mean? That's facts. If you can't go get a job, you're not, go look harder. You know, make one up. Go dig some holes in the ground. People always need something done. People always need something done. That's the funny thing about the universe or about the world, is that we never stop wanting shit to get done. So trust me, somebody out there wants something done that you can do. Dude, they even have blind people making pens. Like, there's something for you to do. So, not like, you know what I mean? Like, but a lot of people be afraid to lose their job. Like, literally, they will make decisions in their life on fear of losing my job. You know, like, you really just, this is, in my opinion, the thing that keeps people at a low level sometimes, because they can't take big chances. They can't take big shots. You know, and it's just because you're results driven, right? Not you in particular, but those people who are not taking big shots. Because we're taking big shots in here, because we're grind gang. But the people who are not taking big shots, right, they're not seeing big results. And you're not really like, it all starts with all those practices all work together, right? If you've been practicing pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, you've been practicing living, you know, within your means and all these things. When you've been practicing all of those things, then it'll be easy to take these big shots. These risks, the uncomfortable feeling that comes with risk won't be so hard, right? But it all starts with practice, right? You gotta practice all this shit. You can't just like think you're gonna know it off the get. You can't just say, oh, well, that's not for me, without like doing deep digging research and figuring it out and working with it, understanding the materials, right? So all I really want you to take from this is like, go, when you commit to something, commit hard, right? If you want to take your time and deciding what you want, that's fine, right? But when you decide, yo, this seems interesting to me, I'm about to go for this, then go for it. Can't just half-ass it. I appreciate all the love on the hoodie, by the way, yes. I told you, see, I was like, I'm gonna start rocking mod merch like a fucking uniform, baby. It's hard. It's hard. I never not once to step out somewhere and not be like hard as fuck. It's dope. I'm extremely blessed. Extremely. Hey man, I love you guys so much. Okay, so much. I hope you guys check out meditation. Right? I particularly want this to apply to meditation because, and only in the sense of the fact that like so many people, they try it one time, try it 2 times, and they say they don't like it. The people that I've seen that have been able to stick with it for like a week, 2 weeks, begin to love it. You will learn to love it. You will get good at it. But once you make that different level of commitment, you say, all right, well, I'm in this for the long haul. It's going to inspire you to try more. You're going to go out and learn. You're going to, try different routes. But you'll try more than once. I'll tell you that much, right? You can't just try something one time and not work out for you, and you'd be like, all right, fuck this. Everybody says that saying in life, you should always try something once, or you should try everything once. I say you should try everything twice, because you never know if the first time's a fluke. You know what I mean? Like, you try it one time and it could have been a bad experience, bad trip. You never know. But give it twice, and then you definitely know. If 2 times it was the same experience, you'd be like, oh, I don't fuck with that. That's not my shit. But it's just that idea of you got to give something a little extra level of commitment. Pull back that first layer. Open, read to 5 chapters, not just the front cover. You know what I mean? But pull back a little bit into some things to really understand what it is and what it means and how it can help you or whatever before you just write it off. It's like, that's a bad idea or that's not for me. It's so hard to say that on a surface level. So I love you guys so much, man. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes progress. With all that, practice makes you better. I don't give a shit. But just know that your life is practice. Your mind's always practicing. Your subconscious is recording nonstop. Recording this conversation. Every single word, every single syllable has come out of my mouth. Your mind has comprehended and stored somewhere. Don't know where. Don't care. But it's there. And it might not be that noticeable yet, right? Because maybe this is your first live. And you're like, oh, well, whatever, I don't know this fucking guy. I guarantee you practice this show for a couple weeks and you're gonna be like, yo, damn, I be hearing shit in the show all of a sudden, like this shit be talking to me. I'd be like, I know, it's not me, it's you. Like your subconscious is tuned to a different frequency all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden when you're tuned to that different frequency, you're hearing different shit. You know what I mean? But it takes practice. It doesn't just happen. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Tomorrow to be exact.